ServiceNow, super interesting company. Not only do they try to improve the experience of companies like SAP and Salesforce and put a transaction model on top of that, they're also with AI pulling together those applications across and really becoming the AI agent transaction. How they do in earnings, and talk to me about the, I don't know, 3 announcements they made on earnings day.
Yeah, so I mean, there was a lot going on, Pat. First of all, just numerically speaking, good quarter, tidy quarter is how I characterized it. Bill McDermott is, a impassioned sales leader. I spoke to him before earnings. He's incredibly excited, surprisingly, about agentic AI. I don't know if we've heard anything about agentic, but the company is working on orchestration and really out of the box agents that will create incredible scale. They've got some good early customer wins. They are really trying to build this to be fast to implement, fast to deploy. And the company is moving quickly from really the back of office, the IT and systems automation and software company, to front of office with, CRM and DX. The Raptor database adoption is growing, and now they've got the agent play. That's all very, very encouraging. And in the numbers, it's encouraging, the large customers, the RPO numbers, the 21% growth number. But they didn't guide as high as people wanted, and that did lead to a sell-off. And so this is a company, I think, that at least twice last year beat and raised, then beat the raise. But in this case, the guide was more conservative. It had a little bit to do with FX. It had a little bit to do with some of what's seen as headwinds, some of what's seen as cost to build out all of this scale and agentic infrastructure. I have a feeling it was a little bit of a, hey, we've had a great run. The stock is up. Customers are happy. They're growing very quickly. Let's reset the market a little bit. I will be very surprised if they don't beat, just based on the backlog, the RPO, and the customers. This is becoming an increasingly very predictable business. So I think he could very simply figure out how to get to those numbers. I mean, the company also did a $3 billion share repurchase. Just like Apple, everybody's got to engineer a little bit, take the float down. But they also announced some great partnerships with Oracle. They announced a partnership with Google Cloud. So now they've scaled out their cloud partnerships with Visa. And like I said, they built this orchestration layer for agents. And Pat, I think this is really, really important, is going to be the ability to orchestrate agents across many, many platforms all at the same time. They're moving very quickly. They seem to be on the right trajectory. This is a company also that builds a lot of its own infrastructure, by the way. And there are some definite efficiencies and economy of scale opportunity now to actually build and deliver your own and not necessarily pay those high costs, especially if we can identify and implement some of these scaling laws. But they did say that they had 150%, by the way, growth in their Now Assist deals that are basically Gen AI net new ACV. So they're not giving quite the dollar numbers, but they're showing some very strong growth inside of that area of the business as well.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with that RPO number. Basically, this is what's been sold that hasn't found its way to revenue yet. It's $22 billion, right? That's a 23% increase. I said a little bit in the run-up, but what I find fascinating about the company is they've got their own specific apps doing certain things. Then they can sit on top of other people's applications, like a Workday, SAP, Salesforce, and to be able to make that more transactional or improve it. My daughters work at Dell, where ServiceNow is sitting right on top of Workday for onboarding and stuff like that. And then you've got this third element, which is, okay, I've got my ERP, my SCM, I've got my CRM system, my HRM system. How do I pull the value out of all 4 or 5 of those systems? And that's where I find the most fascinating opportunity for the company. Now, to do that, data management is an issue. There isn't a CIO that I talk to that still doesn't say data management, hey, we got that covered. In fact, I met with a Fortune 50 CIO last month, and they essentially said, yeah, we think it's going to take us 5 years to get there before we can have a data plane or a data fabric that we can pick up. And I'm like, oh, is that, do you have like 27 different SAP instances? They're like, no, we have one. But even SAP as an example, it's so hard to get value out of that. You talked a little bit about Raptor DB, right? This is an AI optimized database, relatively new, brought out last year. They needed this capability 2 years ago. And I know it's easy to look in the rear view mirror, but I don't know if somebody was, I don't know if it, asleep at the switch, or they felt comfortable leveraging other companies, let's say like MongoDB, or being able to tap into Oracle to create that AI leverageable data plane. But I'm glad it's here now, and I'm glad they're talking about it a lot. I remember at their Big Ten event we attended in Las Vegas. I know a lot of us have been getting feedback on the need for this capability, and I am glad that it is here.